We all know about Tate Brothers' views and impression on women around the world. A lot of women believe that TRW is not appropriate for women, but the ones who want to join TRW has some kind of fear because of Tate Brothers' image on the social media. So, our today's special guest is very beautiful Chryssy. She is a cookbook writer and an amazing content creator in the real world. And you would be surprised to know about her reasons of staying in the real world. If this is your first time watching me, do hit that subscribe button. Welcome to DieselHead. This is Vivek. Let's roll the video, fellas. Chryssy, welcome to the channel and thank you for accepting the invitation. I would like you to give a little intro about yourself to our viewers.
Hi, I'm Chryssy. I am an author and a creator over at Fayi Cookbooks. And in case you don't know, Fayi is the Greek word for food because that's what it's all about over there. The food. I love talking about food.
Yeah, we have seen you cooking a lot of amazing food. So we'll be talking about that also today. How did TRW change your life? Chryssy, how did it change your life? Answer this in one line if you can.
Well, most definitely. I think before I joined the real world, I was a little bit in a place of trying to find what I need to do next. So I had written a numerous amount of cookbooks, and then I was trying to find what to do next, and I was going through a few health challenges, and then I kept seeing all the little ads coming up about the real world, and then I joined, and I haven't looked back. It is been absolutely what I needed to get me on track and keep me going.
How did you make your mind to join TRW? I mean, didn't you have any kind of concern about what they say, Tate Brothers?
Do you know what's so funny? I never did. It was every video I was watching, I was actually agreeing. Everything they were saying, I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Get the women back in the kitchen. Get the women doing this. And I actually love what they believe. I just really aligned with everything they say. And since joining, it's so funny to talk to someone in real life
Yeah.
that is the age of a lot of the men in the campus and noticing the difference. So in real life, how immature they are, how they have no drive, how they have no goals. And then you talk to some of the guys in the campus and the respect they show me and the way they talk to me, you can just see the maturity levels. Honestly, I listen to a lot of the calls in the car, and I even have my son now saying to me, Mom, I'm not going to uni, I'm going to join the real world. So I love it. It's
That's
great.
great. That's great. See, we all know that there are a lot of kids inside the real world, and somehow we can expect them to make some kind of mistake, but they are not making any mistake in terms of respect, right? And they are comparatively way more mature than the people outside watching feed of TRW or this Andrew Tate's, right?
Yeah, I agree. They are a lot more mature. I feel like they're getting ahead of the game because they are given really good instructions on what to do, how to do it, and they have this like community around them to support them. If there is a roadblock, you don't have to spend a year waiting to figure it out. You just jump in there, you ask your question, and someone will either catch you up on your bullshit, or they will, push you forward and say, hey, try this. There's never a place that you can stay stagnant. You can just keep going. It's great.
Right. So, did you ever face any discrimination inside the real world being a woman? Any kind of discrimination?
I actually found the opposite. I remember once, and I'm just, you can put some things in there for people to give you reviews and things like that. And I remember, one of the younger guys had made a comment, and one of the captains straight away pulled him up on that and just dealt with it straight away. And I was like, that's respect, especially being a woman. And, it's very intimidating being in there sometimes. But I don't find any discrimination. It's really, you called out on it straight away, especially in our campus. I feel like it's even more, there's even more respect for us women. So if you do jump in the chats, there's always someone who's going to talk to you, and they're a bit more respectful because you are a woman. And I think that's because of what they are taught from the captains and the professors and things like that. So I actually find it more inviting than discriminating.
Yeah, and I believe, see, we all share our videos on our campus, right? Especially talk to camera section, and it becomes a little bit of uncomfortable if somebody is reacting in not so expected way, right? But our section is way more comfortable compared to other sections, right? I've seen so many people sharing their videos and nobody ever said anything bad about anybody. They are all giving, I would say, respectful feedbacks to everyone. Even I did gave feedbacks to people. I believe I gave feedbacks to your videos also.
You did all the time. It was awesome. It's very confronting to do it, but I think it's been the best because I think it's also built those connections within our campus. It's
Yeah.
really helped everyone who is in there and actually doing that to grow. Even if you're not doing a talk to camera, it just helps you to actually talk to other people and how to present yourself and how to. It's really valuable. Really valuable.
And I believe this is one of the reason why we are so comfortable talking to each other on this video call, right?
Yep. Like how two
Otherwise,
strangers around the world just jumping on and having a chat, never met each other, but that's just how it is in the real world. You really just make connections and are willing to
yeah,
help each other out. It's really good community.
feels like we know each other since a long time. It's something like that kind of environment inside the real world, right?
It is. It really is. It's a very inviting community. And I think they're always trying to adapt to who's in the campus at the time and how they need to help those people grow. Like when we used to do the calls, the night calls, they were so perfect at the time that they were done. I used to love them. They really pushed me to go, you know what, this is the goal. This is where I need to get. And then, you submit your videos and you get that live feedback then and there from captains who are willing to give us their time. It was just unbelievably valuable.
So true, so true. And I believe you are cookbook author, right? Would you like to tell something about them, your books?
Yeah,
Actually,
sure. I brought them this time.
that's great. That's
Last time
great.
I didn't bring them because, but I've got 2 hard copy cookbooks. So I'm
That's
very
great.
proud of them. There was a lot of love and tears maybe that went into creating these cookbooks. This was my first cookbook. It's now sold out. So I'm really proud
That's
because
great.
I've done that since joining the real world. So it's pretty cool what you can achieve. So yeah, my cookbooks are actually family recipes. So I usually go and
Okay.
cook with the person who cooks that recipe the best, and then I convert it to be used in a Thermomix. So it's a very specific type of recipe. Not everyone can use
Okay.
them.
Okay.
But it's very special family recipes, and especially the first one. A lot of the people that cooked with me in this cookbook are now actually no longer with us, so I feel privileged that I have a part of them to pass on for generations.
So are these recipes Australian, all Australian, or around the world?
Yeah, it's actually funny. I've got quite a diverse background. So, yes, I'm in Australia, but my dad's actually from Cyprus, so he's Cypriot. My mum's side's actually Greek Egyptians. So
Okay.
I have a very diverse culture, and a
That's
lot
great.
of it is the Mediterranean sort of recipes. But yeah, it sort of crosses over because I feel like a lot of the recipes are very similar in all the Middle Eastern sort of countries. A lot of people who jump online are from, Europe, and they're like, oh, we call it this, or, So yeah, I should show you
Right.
some. Like I know a lot of the, I just want to show you this one recipe. This recipe I always get that everyone
Okay.
calls. So they're called the vine leaves, and we call them dolmothers. But around the world, there's lots of different names. I think they're called kebabs or something in different places. So it's pretty
Right.
cool having
Right.
different people around the world jump on and tell us what they call it, what little alterations they might make from their family. But I feel like I've given them the basic steps to then convert their own family recipes and put their little tweaks in it, which I
That's
feel
great.
very passionately about because I really don't believe the next generation is going to cook. without a Thermomix and without these recipes.
That's rage. But yeah, you are kind of right. Most people I know nowadays don't know how to cook. Even I can cook. You know, Chryssy, I can cook.
Very impressed. Very good.
I am Gen X, so I believe we are the last generation of people who can actually cook.
Yeah, but we're going to change that, and we have changed, and we are changing that because, and I think it's the thought that people think, oh, I'm not going to stand there for half an hour and stir whatever it is,
Yeah.
and I love that the Thermomix takes that away. There is no need to stand there. You just set the dial, and it's going to stir it for you, and it's such a privilege then to. There's one recipe, I think I tried it about 20 times to perfect to get it like my grandma's, honestly. The bechamel sauce, which is like a white sauce that goes on, it's like a lasagna, a pasticcio. And honestly, I did not think I was going to be able to convert this recipe to be as good as hers. But once I perfected it, honestly, I have people message me saying now it's better than hers. And that is such a privilege because it's like you're not even standing there. Like she used to stand there and stir it for like half an hour. And I just push the little buttons, put everything inside, and it's done. So that's how the next generation is going to cook. If it's not for that, then they just need to get the thoughts out of their head that they don't have time for it. They just need to find the method that can bring back that time so they can cook for their families. Everyone needs to learn to cook.
That's great. That's great. So, what about your second book? What is the status of sale of that book? Are you going to sell it as an ebook or the hard copies?
So all my cookbooks come in ebook copies. So I think I've got about 7 or 8 now, but I've only gone to print with 2. So yeah, I've only got these 2 cookbooks. So mezze is my first one. Salad I did a little bit later on. So they're all, don't be deceived by salads, but we are big entertainers in my culture. So a lot of the things are just to create, like when we create a party, I don't mean like you take out 1 or 2 dishes. Like I mean, you've seen some of my photos. I have to send you one of my high tea photos. It was just such an amazing array of. I actually did here back.
Thank you.
You'll see the photo of it in the in the pool house here, and the whole bench was just full of food, homemade from scratch. Everything down to the marshmallows, to the mustics, to the everything was homemade, and it was just such a pleasure to bring the women over and have them sit down and enjoy a lunch. So. Yeah, all my recipes are ebooks, but I've only got the 2 hard copies. I'm down to my, I still got a few more books to go with my salad. But we'll see. I think the real world gives you ideas on how else you can sell them. So I've only ever sold online, and the way I sold out of my mezze cookbook is we talk a lot about outreaching in our campus, and it gave me the idea of actually stocking my book in other places. So then I wholesaled out my cookbook to a few companies and they bought everything. So it was awesome. So I'm hoping to do that with my salad collection too and sell out of that.
Congratulations on that. But I was about to ask you, how do you sell your ebooks? I was about to ask that. So do you have any websites or Instagram account where you sell your ebooks, or you just sell it to the publishers or some other ways?
No, actually I don't have a publisher. I'm self-published, but I just sell them on the line on my website, fayi.com.au. So that's where I'm at if you want to find me.
Guys, you can see the name of a website right here on the screen, right? So, Chryssy, what did you do before joining the real world? Were you making any kind of money, or you were just enjoying the life?
Before the real world, I was just still doing my cookbooks. I've always done that. But like I said, last year I went through a few health challenges and I was just looking for a way to pivot and not have to be so hands-on. And I suppose that's when I started seeing some of the ads and some of the videos, and it just aligned with a lot of my beliefs. Like I'm very holistic. And so when they started talking about different ways to do that, I got intrigued that someone believed what I believed, because I just felt like I was in a bubble of no one believing what I believed anymore. And so, yeah, that's why I jumped on to the real world. And I think it's just propelled me forward. So instead of staying where I was at and at the level I was at, it's definitely
I
helped me to
believe
grow.
TRW shows us some kind of path where we don't have to search for certain things, right?
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that. So when I first jumped on, I was in one of the campuses, and I think it was maybe the copywriting campus, and I was going through it, and I felt like
Yeah.
it was something that I obviously don't know everything, but it wasn't serving what I needed at that time. And then I
Yeah.
sort of floated around a couple of the campuses, and I love that some of the professors do joint calls. And it just happened to be that I jumped on one of the calls with two of the professors, and it led me to our campus. And it I just knew then and there, once I started down the talk to camera, I was like, this is where I need to be. This is where I need to excel in. This is what's missing right now. So, and I feel like
Our campus feels like home, right?
oh, serious. It's just so best. Everyone is just so, it's the best community. Like, I've made friends with a lot of the women in there, and we sometimes talk every day and just message each other going, hey, how you going? Do you need anything? Everyone good? And it's just so nice to have that. It's really good.
Yeah. I can understand that. I feel the same way. So, have you ever thought that it could be some kind of scam, TRW?
No way.
You
That's so
you never
funny
thought
that you
that?
say that. How do you think it's a scam? Look at all the people. Look at all the young guys that are making
No.
money.
Chryssy, I actually felt that it's some kind of scam before joining the real world. I was prepared to lose my 50 bucks. To be
No
very frank,
way.
this is the truth I'm telling. In fact, Rico was also prepared for that, and Fardeen was also prepared for that. That he's gonna lose his 50 bucks. See, it was some kind. There was some fear inside all of us that it could be some kind of scam, right? But it's surprising that you never thought about it.
See, I've done courses before, and I think when I jumped on to this, like,
Yeah.
in comparison to other courses, it's actually really cheap. Even long-term paying that $50, I still haven't even paid what I have paid in other courses up front. And when I jumped in and I'm only paying, the $50 for it, I think I was so
Yeah, that I
overwhelmed
agree.
with actually how much they're giving and how much
Yeah.
the professors spend, how much time and effort they give us to make sure that we are moving forward. So I actually think the opposite. I actually think it was, very
No,
well
after
priced.
joining the real world, yes, I agree, completely agree that there is so much value compared to what we are paying. There is so much value. See, last yesterday I was talking to one of my friend, and we were talking about how Pope is almost always online trying to do certain things. It's so fascinating and motivating to see Pope that he's almost always online. It's obviously not a scam. See, we are here and we are enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, I just think,
So
like, recently I had a friend join as well, and the way that in my head that I put it down to as well is, like I said to you, I was going through some health challenges, and I was a little
yeah.
lost last year. And when I jumped into campus, like, I was paying weekly, probably $60 a week for my trainer. And then when you join, you don't even know that there's a health campus as well. I'm like, and you're only paying $50 a month, and you get that included as well. So it's just like all these little
Yeah.
campuses that you could get value from. And then if you actually compare it to what you're actually paying in real life for other things that are in the campus already, I feel like it's a no-brainer.
Chryssy, when did you join the real world? How long it took you to report your first win, and how much did you make? If you are comfortable to tell.
Yeah, I can't actually remember. I remember joining at the end of last year, so it was December.
Oh,
Yeah.
I also joined at the same time, 31st of December.
Okay. Yeah, I remember it was
Yeah.
sometime in December. And then
Yeah.
I don't know how, I think I was a little bit, like I said, I was a little bit lost and just trying to find my way. I didn't even know you could put wins in there. And I don't feel like I really started getting involved in all the campuses until I joined the content creation campus.
Okay.
Then I was like, okay, now tell me what I need to do and I'm going to do it. So yeah, I didn't report a win until I was in the content creation campus, even though I was still making money. But yeah, personally, I was really specific to share the wins that were specifically coming from the work I was doing and learning in the campus. So it wasn't always
Right,
just
right.
sharing all my wins. I must admit, I was more saying, okay, if I do this, so when I started creating more videos, and then I noticed that day those sales were coming through from that video, I'm like, that's a win. So that's what I've been sharing. But I've had lots of wins. I think maybe one of the biggest that I shared one day, I think I sent out an email of the video that I had created and linked it for my audience. And I think I made about
Yep.
$900 in that one day. So that was cool.
And how about the recent client you were talking about?
Yeah, so I think that's what I mean about they've given us ideas of things that we can do that
Yeah.
I don't think I would have done if I hadn't joined. So I've always
Oh.
had my personal brand and been growing and doing my cookbooks. Like I said, they gave me ideas of other ways to grow that. But then they also prompted an idea of, okay, so if I do this for myself, I could also get some clients to do it for them as well. But I have a really, really specific niche. So like I said, my recipes only work for Thermomix. So yeah, I've started helping people who are sort of in the Thermomix world that, yeah, because you have to know how to do that. But then she's also a gaps practitioner. So she's very specific, and unless you know what her content is, you wouldn't be able to create her content. So it's pretty cool that I can offer my services to people like that and create their videos and things for them as well.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And see, I always tell all my viewers about this that you have to improvise a little bit. You don't have to follow each and everything like they tell you. You have to improvise because your conditions are different. You know things differently compared to what other people know. So you always have to improvise a little bit so that you can do things in your own way and make something out of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because I think I feel like I did spend a couple of months doing what I thought was expected instead of, okay, how can I take those skills and apply it to my own situation? I don't think it was a waste of time. I feel like I improved my skills by doing that, but I feel like I'm in a better place now that I'm applying it to my actual niche and business and not just following what is expected. So I suppose if you're starting from scratch, definitely do that. But I wasn't. I was starting from a place where I already had a personal brand and I don't want to get rid of that. I just wanted to grow that and find other ways of doing the things that I love, but in still in my niche.
And Chryssy, I'm getting a feeling that you are not too much into money. You are not keen to make a ton of money like other people are expecting to make money inside the real world. Is that true?
That probably because I'm a female as well. I will
No,
say
no,
that I
I've
think
seen
that's
other
the man's job,
females.
not the woman's job. But everyone's situation is different. My situation is not focused on that. So I think my goal has been more, and it always has been, when I wrote my first cookbook, I wrote it with a mum. So we both had little babies, and she went back to work after that. I continued on writing cookbooks, and I feel like if I do grow, some of my friends might come back and work with me. I would love to see mums not have to go to work and miss out on all the things that they do sometimes miss out on. And I'd love them to do what we used to do and work together and have the kids in the background playing. So for me, that's my love project.
That's great. That's great. So, Chryssy, one more thing. You are mentioning Thermomix again and again. Would you like to tell what exactly Thermomix is?
A Thermomix. Oh my
I
god,
don't
you
know
have
what
to
it
look
is.
it up then if you don't know what it is. It's a cooking appliance, but it eliminates all other appliances except for your oven and your toaster and maybe a few things like that. But it can do pretty much everything faster and you don't have to have it hands on. So it's not just a mixer where you just say mix the cake batter. You can also cook in it, you can saute in it. So it sort of makes cooking a lot easier. And I feel like if you have good recipes that can show you how to do that, you can perfect a dish because it has a time, it has a temperature, it has a speed. And if you follow those instructions, it's pretty much down to what you're putting in the machine. You can't go wrong unless the ingredient varies. And yeah, I love seeing that people can. There's a lot of people that cannot cook that go and buy my cookbooks and end up going, "Oh my god, I just cooked this." I have a cousin that came and thanked me because he was like, "Oh my god, my wife can cook me dinner now," and she never ever used to cook for him. Like she would burn toast. She was that bad. So it's such a good feeling when I can see that women are now actually enjoying being in the kitchen and cooking. They're getting their kids cooking with them because it's so easy and it's so effortless. So yeah, it's a machine that I think don't buy anything else, just buy this machine. It is worth every cent. And yeah, if you end up being like me, you'll end up with 3.
So we can chop and we can cut and we can grind, we can cook, and what else? Stir. We can stir also in one single machine.
Yep. One machine.
That's great.
Gotta see it to believe it,
That
right?
is amazing. Frankly speaking, Chryssy, I didn't know about this machine and I am really surprised to know about it from you. Thank you for letting me know.
That's all right. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, true. How do you manage your cooking and TRW side by side?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think during the week I sort of meal prep. So my everyday, everyone thinks, she cooks, she loves doing dinner and things like that. Not actually my love project. Dinner is a chore for me. So I will definitely meal prep, make sure everyone has all the different meals they need. But my love project comes from doing, like I said, I do enjoy indulging in a party or two, and just cooking a whole array of food for people at once. I think it's just a cultural thing that I've been brought up with. My dad used to cook a lot. He has, used to have cafes and things that's where I've learned a lot of my cooking from. My mum is a very, very good cook especially at desserts and things. So I always say to people, if you try one of my desserts, it's going to be the best because it's my mum's recipe. So yeah, that's where my love comes from. Is I like spending a lot of time preparing lots of dishes and then having a party and just having everyone enjoy the dishes together. Bringing people together with food. That's the best thing in the world.
So, that's great. That's great. And I just love sweets. I love desserts. So maybe in the future sometime.
Yeah, we'll have a real world
Right.
party, I think, one day and have
Yeah,
everyone over
definitely,
for
definitely.
a Greek array of sweets.
Yeah. And have you ever thought about having a team to share your workload? Like you have a lot on your plate.
Yeah, I don't think I would have a big team. No, I quite like my own little bubble. And I just have those few, say, mum friends or people around me. And I have a very big family, so I feel like more is just too much. So I just like to keep what we have, and here and there having a few friends is beautiful. But yeah, no, I don't need a big team. I think that's not the way I would go down.
That's very nice thinking. Chrissy, very nice thinking. So, what is your daily routine? How do you start your day?
Ooh. It's really different. I'm a scheduler. If you saw my diary, every second of my day is planned out. I don't know if you remember doing the social experiment, and some of the guys would give me feedback on geez, you must have been doing this for a long time because every second of your day was just it is a little bit of multitasking. Maybe that's not the best thing in the world, but it's just how I function. I just love planning out a day and knowing I can smash it out. I'm very good I'm better at being busy than not being busy.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so nice.
Yeah.
So, What's your biggest win till now, and how did you get it?
Ooh. Can I say I'm gonna, like you just said before, I'm not gonna give you a money. I'm not gonna give you a money one because I don't think I could
Yeah,
even.
yeah.
I
You
don't
don't
think I
have
could
to. You
think
don't have to tell about
of what
money.
it would be, because to me the goals that I look at are not monetary. They're more okay. Where do I want to get to, and what do I want to achieve? And my biggest goal was selling out of the Meze cookbook. It was. I sort of was shocked that I could have sold that many cookbooks and got that many into homes. I just feel like that's how many lives I got to touch, and that was a really proud moment for me. So yeah.
So you are officially an author. You are officially an author.
I know, it's so
See,
cool, right?
yeah, it's so cool that I know somebody who's an author.
I know. And a
I can
self-published
flaunt
author.
it.
I think
I can actually flaunt it.
yeah. And a self-published author, which I feel like is even more impressive because we can do that in
Yeah,
this
author
day.
and
I didn't
publisher.
have to get a publisher to do it all for me. I literally created everything from scratch. Like this cookbook, I cooked every single recipe in 2 days. So all those are professionally photographed. And so the photographer could come and create these photos. Look how beautiful the photos are. I cooked everything in 2 days.
2 days, just 2 days.
Just 2 days. I think I had 4
Oh my
Thermomixes
God.
going, and I had to just back to back cook every dish so he could photograph as he was as he was doing it, because a lot of the photos needed step photos. So I'd have to cook the dish and do it in front of him so he could photograph. So it was, and that was my first cookbook. So they only got better as they went along.
Actually, I've seen your pictures on your Instagram profile. So if our viewers want to see your pictures, would you please like to tell your Instagram account handle here so that they can know, they can see your pictures or recipes or whatever you have on your account?
Yeah, so Fayi Cookbooks is FAYI Cookbooks. And yeah, a lot of my recipes are just online. There's heaps of free ones on the website as well. If you do have a Thermomix, jump on there and check it out.
Chryssy, what if I don't have Thermomix? Wouldn't I be able to make those recipes?
Ooh. Look, you could look at the ingredients, and if you know how to cook that recipe, then you could
Yeah.
just copy the ingredients. But the method is really specific to a Thermomix, and I would, unless you understand Thermomix language and what it means, you would have no idea.
If you understand how to cook, then you might be able to cook your recipes, right?
Yeah, that's right. It will guide you in, like there's a few dishes that are very popular, like let me think of one. Diropita, which is a cheese pastry. And a lot of people are always wondering how to create the perfect fluffiness in the cheese pastry. And if you did look at my ingredients, you would see the winning ingredient, which I'm not going to tell you. But that's how you would figure out, oh, okay, if I add this, that's how it would be done. But the method is very specific to a Thermomix. There's very few recipes that you could get away with without it. So yeah, you could grate your cheese and do all those things, but it would be a lot different in the method.
Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. So everyone has some kind of unique way to deal with the clients. What's yours? Since you are an influencer, do you get sponsorships to promote products also?
Yeah, I don't really do very much sponsorships, I must admit. I'm much prefer to stick to my own products and things. Maybe in the future, I don't know. There's always a time. I do more collaborations. So like I said, I do believe in holistic health, and I have done a lot of collaborations with a lot of my organic butchers and my organic farmer, and we just, that's the sort of people that I collaborate with. They're just down to earth, people that are doing it from scratch with me, because a lot of the Thermomix recipes you cook from scratch. You are taking a lot of the chemicals and a lot of the ingredients that you are not needed away from your food, and so my collaborations have to be aligned with my beliefs as well. So Yeah, no, I do more collaborations and sponsorships, I must admit, because a lot of the people that I'm collaborating with are, small farmers and my local butchers and things like that. So that's always worked really well for me in the past. And you can jump on my website as well. A lot of those collaborations are always on my website. And there's links to their websites and things as well.
Yeah, guys, if you want to collaborate with Chryssy, you can hop onto her website.
Thank you.
Name is here on the screen, right? So, Chryssy, how important is the hard work in our line of work, content creation? How important is the hard work?
How important? I don't know. Is like it's hard work, but I feel like I love it. Like that's when I'm happiest. Like, don't you
It
find
doesn't feel
that?
like hard work when you love it.
I know. I love sitting there and editing something that I know is going to like help people or touch someone's life. And to me, it's more of a pleasure to do it. And when I suppose, don't forget, I'm a mum. So when I'm so busy with the kids and I get that moment to be on, the computer and create something, for me, it was like, that's my time. That's something special that I got to do. So for me, that's not hard work. There's a lot of other things that are a lot harder in life. Doing that is fun. I wish I had more time to do it, but different priorities, different lives, right?
So, you like editing?
I love it. It's so much fun. I
Oh
feel
my
like
god! I hate editing. I hate editing.
no, I feel like it's like a little puzzle I have to put together, and then when it's finished, it's like.
Yeah.
And look, I'm definitely no expert, and I'm not amazing at it, but I feel like every day that I'm doing it, I'm getting better and better, and especially now working with a client,
That
and
I
I get
agree.
to get given the content, and I don't have to film it as well. It's even more exciting because I feel like I'm creating more, and it's hers has like a lot of messages as well because she talks a lot about gut health and things. So yeah, every time I send her one, I'm so happy and excited, and then when you get to see it, it's so exciting that I've done that.
Okay, but I really hate editing, to be very frank. I don't like editing simply because it's too monotonous. That is why I don't like editing. But yeah, I do it all the time, almost daily. I have to edit my videos. But yeah, if you like it, you like it.
Well, you have to get to a point where then you hire that part out and you just make the
Yeah,
videos. You find what you
yeah,
love to
true.
do and do that.
Right, right, right. So, Chrissy, what's your payment terms with the clients? How much do you take upfront before starting the project?
Yeah, so like I said, I've only been doing really a personal brand and just had a few clients here and there where I just did a couple of jobs for. So this is really my first ongoing client. So we're still working out how that's going to look, and I think I've got to learn some skills from some of the guys in the campus on how to get a retainer. Maybe that's something I haven't learned yet.
Okay, okay, fair enough. What kind of gears did you use for shooting videos when you started, and what do you use now?
Do you know what? I always just use my phone. Like iPhone's brilliant. What else do you actually need? Yeah, maybe a little light here and there. Look, when I do a cookbook, I'll always get a professional photographer and whoever else to do those things. But for my everyday videos, and it's just my iPhone.
See, I always tell everybody that you don't need hi-fi gear to start making videos or content. Just the phone is sufficient to do all these kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think, we all have different goals. If you're going to be a full professional photographer, then yeah, you need the gear. But starting off and depending on what level you're at, the iPhone does it. Just start and do it with the
Yeah,
iPhone.
phones have come way, way far compared to what they were about a couple of years back.
The quality of them is just brilliant. They are.
Yeah, agreed, totally agreed. So, do you also use some kind of online services to get the assets like music, templates before delivering the project?
I don't know. What do you mean by that?
I mean, online services like stock music, stock videos, something like that, templates for your videos.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it just depends what the video is needing. I'm just slowly learning and adding what I can. I think the other day I did my first animated photos. That was really cool because she was talking about leaky gut, and I could not for the life of me find a video. And like, I could just jump into the campus and go, okay, I can't solve this problem of finding a stock video. What can I do? And you just go in there and find solutions. It's fabulous.
Oh, that's so nice. So, Chryssy, are you making UGC videos nowadays?
Honestly, I do. This month's been very full on because I've had quite a few deadlines with my clients. So I'm just trying to balance that. But I've got a few pending in the background, and hopefully I will get to post those ones soon.
So, are your all clients local, or you deal with international clients also?
I have done a few international clients, to be honest. Like I said, a lot of my background is Cypriot. So when I got to visit Cyprus, I had quite a few collaborations there, which was really nice. But mostly in the countries that my recipes have come from. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, how big of a role does the number of social media followers play?
Ooh, that's a really good question. I actually think it's not even just how many followers you have. I think it's the different platforms and what's important to your audience. So I know a lot of our community is, Facebook, but Facebook groups. They're really interactive in the Facebook groups. So many of us, like, I don't even think I have a very big presence at all on Instagram, but if you go, to the Facebooks and things, we have a lot more presence. So yeah, I don't have a huge audience, but I definitely have an audience, which is all you really need is just someone to start talking to. And I think you can do anything with that.
I believe interacting with the people is very important.
Yeah.
Right.
In our industry, it's a huge thing. I get daily emails from people and my customers asking questions and sometimes thanking me for a recipe. You might have triggered a memory from them, because don't forget, a lot of my recipes are very, very traditional, old school recipes. So it's really nice. Yeah, I get a lot of interaction with my audience, and I love that. So yeah, email list is also, I think out of all the things, I think your email list would be the biggest thing to have.
I also love a lot of old school food, but somehow we don't get it
Discrimination, did you say?
nowadays.
Yeah. It's very true.
So, yeah. So, what's your advice for the people willing to make a living out of content creation?
Join the real world. I don't know. How else would you these days know how to keep up with what to do? In there, they're literally telling you. And if I knew about this how many years ago that I started, I would have been in there.
Yeah, so true. It's really, really nice that we have TRW to guide us.
Yeah.
And Pope,
Yeah.
he is amazing.
Man, he is. I just bow my head to how much time and energy he gives us every single day. He's there and pushes us, and sometimes will make you feel uncomfortable because he knows that you can do better, which I think is fabulous. Yeah.
He scolds us, he loves us, he does everything for us, and he's always there to help us.
Yeah. And I think if you're starting from scratch, there's no better place to start. And even if you want to excel, I think there's so much value and so many campuses that you could just find where you're at, start there, and then you might drift to one of the other campuses once that campus has served you. So, and you'll make your money back easy. If you start to actually do the work, you can't fail.
Yeah. Provided you do the work. You don't just wander around.
100%. If you're not doing the work, you're not going to go anywhere. But you show up and you do the work, you will get there. And I feel like a lot of the work and the value that you're going to get is even on yourself. Like your presence will be better, your attitude will be better, your motivation. Like I just know myself, from where I was at last year when I joined, I am not the same person. I am definitely feeling like I'm more the person I was before I got ill. And honestly, it's a blessing to have found the real world.
Chryssy, since you are not inside TRW for the money, so I am noticing that you are there just to improve your motivation and something like that. Would you like to add something to that?
Yeah, I don't even think it's just motivation. I think it's sometimes to find your little community that's is around you. Like I know there's a saying, something, you know, that you are the sum of the people around you. And sometimes when we get into a place where maybe we're not in such a good place, even by ourselves or the people that are around you or whatever it is, I feel like joining the real world is going to put you in a place where you're going to get called out for all your bullshit, and you're going to move through that as hard as it is, and then you will find a better place to start from. And you just keep going. You'll just keep growing and excelling. And I think it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely true. I agree. I completely agree with you on this. Chryssy, would you like to say something to our viewers today?
Ooh.
Any suggestion? Anything?
I don't know. Just thank you for having me. It's been so fun chatting with you.
No, it was my pleasure that you are here. And thank you very much for being on my channel. It's amazing to talk to you.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been hard to get here. We've done it eventually. It was a bit of a juggle. I'm sorry. You know what it's like with kids and a strict timetable. So I'm so happy that we worked it out in the end. I think it's really late there for you. So thanks for staying up for me.
That's okay. That's what friends do for each other.
No, that's what the real world friends do for each other. They go
Yeah.
above and beyond, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Chryssy, for being on the channel. If you enjoyed watching this content, do hit the like button, share the video, and we'll be meeting in the next video.